We are checking out some more of the Fat Electrician. This time, the bazooka tank, M50 Ontos, the thing. My God, just the title alone draws me in. You know what I mean? Bazooka tank. Oh, I'm here for it. And also, I am so here for his style of telling the story. I know nothing about the M50 Ontos at all. So let's check this out, guys. If I'm going to check something out for the first time, I'm going to watch it with you guys. So here we go, guys. Without any further ado, let's bring up the Fat Electrician. Let's see what Nick has to say about what this is, because I'm so interested. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
I really thought that the Mark 19 was the most Marine Corps thing to ever be invented, but I was wrong because it's absolutely this. Today we're talking about the M50 Ontos, aka the thing.
What? What is that, bro? What is that? Jesus. What is that? That thing looks mean, dude. How practical is it? All the... like, look at that thing. That is busy. That is busy. All right. Okay. Like, what? What is that? Damn.
Okay, here's the deal. Once upon a time in the 1950s, the United States Army would set out to answer a question that had plagued mankind for decades. What if we took a tank and covered it in fucking bazookas? And to aid them...
Yes. A question that's been asked for ages, obviously. Hell yes. Dude, why haven't we? That's the question that, or at least the answer I would give. Why haven't we done this? Let's see if it's practical.
In this enormous feat of engineering fuckery, they would turn to the one demographic of people on the planet. They could do this insanely childish and dangerous idea justice. The farmers, by way of Alice Chalmer, a tractor manufacturing.
Yes. If you want shit to get done, you ask the farmers. They, like, engineering feats. Just your everyday MacGyver. That's them. The tractor guys. The farmers. Oh my God. Smart. Smart. The farmers, aka the Marines of agriculture.
They would turn to the one demographic of people on the planet. They could do this insanely childish and dangerous idea justice. The farmers, by way of Alice Chalmer, a tractor manufacturing company. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the grunts and the farmers are going to come together and work on a grunts and crafts project.
But,
all right?
bro,
it's absolutely going to get
Nick,
done.
Listen, guys, that Venn diagram has a lot of shit. Farmers and grunts. That shares a lot in the middle here. That Venn diagram is almost like an eclipse. Just like very, very similar. Golly.
It's not going to be fucking safe, but it's going to get done, and it's going to work. So they took the M56 light tank, ripped the turret off, threw that shit away, and then proceeded to weld on top 6 M40 106mm recoilless rifles. Yeah, technically they're not bazookas, they're recoilless rifles. There's a slight difference in how they function, but at the end of the day, as far as the 99.9% of people need to be concerned, it's a giant metal tube that you point at the enemy to blow them the fuck up, aka it's a bazooka. Plus, bazooka tank sounds way cooler than recoilless rifle tanks.
Oh, yes, 100%. Bazooka tank sells. Recoilless rifle tank, not so much. Bazooka tank, now we're talking. Oh my God, they look like a big ass potato gun. That's what it looks like. That's crazy. I don't even know what a recoilless rifle is. I have no idea.
9% of people need to be concerned. It's a giant metal tube that you point at the enemy to blow them the fuck up, aka it's a bazooka. Plus, bazooka tank sounds way cooler than recoilless rifle tanks, so that's what we're going with. Now, I think we can all agree that welding 6 of these on top of a single vehicle is mildly ridiculous in the best way possible. However, it only gets worse from here. Because why don't you go ahead and ask me how they aim this monstrosity? I mean, look at it. It's got 6 different barrels. None of them are anywhere near each other. Clearly, it's going to be a nightmare, if not impossible, to aim this thing accurately, right? Wrong. The farmers and the grunts got together and said, we'll just use a spotting rifle. They then proceeded to mount a 50 caliber rifle on top of every single bazooka barrel, and then they would just fire 50 caliber tracer rounds until they started hitting their desired target. Then they would fire the bazooka.
Oh. Oh my God. How? That's so ridiculous. That's so over the top, man. That's just like, yes, what's in front of us? Swiss cheese it, and then we'll just destroy, obliterate it. That's crazy. If you guys don't know, the tracer rounds, you know, if you ever see combat videos and stuff, and you see, like, let's say a firefight, you see those, like, the glowing bullets, those are tracer rounds. That helps you have some sort of visual aid to see where your rounds are pointing down range, right? And you can walk it in if you're on, like, let's say a bigger weapon system. So firing tracer rounds, man, like, that's crazy. So you're shooting this massive weapon, right? I'm not talking about the recoilless rifle. I'm talking, or the bazooka, for just the ease of this conversation, because I'm not going to be caught saying recoilless rifle again. The bazooka, you shoot 50 caliber rounds and just walk it in, and then, like, that's insane. The amount of firepower you are throwing down range is absolutely nuts. Just to shoot your boom boom round. That's crazy.
They're literally aiming a giant gun with a slightly smaller giant gun. I don't even know how to begin to write a punchline for that, so I'm just going to go ahead and... I mean, could you imagine how confusing this would be to the enemy? Imagine you're some anonymous bad guy held up in a house or in a building somewhere, and this fucking monstrosity pulls around the corner as your butthole puckers, and you realize that this is probably going to be the longest, shortest day of your life, and your new pronouns are about to be here and over there. And then this thing aims at you.
Love that. New pronouns are gonna be here and over there. Oh shit. Oh shit, man. Oh, God, I love him. God, I love him. He just says it like it is, man. I love that.
The corner as your butthole puckers, and you realize that this is probably going to be the longest, shortest day of your life, and your new pronouns are about to be here and over there. And then this thing aims at you, fires, and it blows a nice little hole in the wall next to you as you're like, I mean, it's not good, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. So the farmers finished up the prototypes and took it out to Aberdeen Proving Ground with the Army and the Marine Corps, at which point they promptly said, fire all 6 at once, we want to see what'll happen. And the sheer amount of backblast from that knocked bricks out of the wall of the bomb shelter they were in and shattered all the windows of the vehicles they used to get out there. And
in what earth? In what battle? I mean, I could imagine what battle, but, like, why would you fire all 6 at once? It wasn't designed like that. I mean, I get it. You got to see the limits of what this thing can do. Like, but that's some sick-minded shit. Like, I wouldn't dock a weapon system because it's being used not how it's supposed to. Why would you fire all of them at once, bro? That's nuts. Oh, man.
We want to see what'll happen. And the sheer amount of backblast from that knocked bricks out of the wall of the bomb shelter they were in and shattered all the windows of the vehicles they used to get out there. And it is at that point that the Army said they were no longer interested in having this vehicle due to the sheer amount of backblast, and they really, really did not like the fact that somebody had to get outside of the vehicle to individually reload each recoilless rifle after they had been fired. The Marine Corps, on the other hand, said, I'll take 300. The Marine Corps ordered 300 of these fucking things, which is terrifying to think about. I mean, to be honest, and it pains me to say this, but as far as logic goes, I actually have to side with the Marines on this one. The Army's over here bitching like, you could get shot at while you're trying to reload. And the Marine Corps is like, we've been getting fucking shot at since 1775 without a bazooka tank. Imagine how much fun it's going to be with a bazooka tank. And I mean, to be fair, what the fuck is going to be left to shoot it?
So true. Oh, that reasoning. Oh my God. Cannot argue, bro. Cannot argue. We've been getting shot at without a bazooka tank. You know, now it'd be more fun to get shot at with a bazooka tank. Hell yeah, man. We're going to take it back. I feel like I missed something.
Reload each recoilless rifle after they had been fired. The Marine Corps, on the other hand, said, I'll take 300.
Dude.
The Marine Corps ordered 300 of these fucking things, yes. Which is terrifying to think about.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, and it pains me to say this, but as far as logic goes, I actually have to side with the Marines on this one. The Army's over here bitching like, oh, you could get shot at while you're trying to reload. And the Marine Corps is like, we've been getting fucking shot at since 1775 without a bazooka tank. Imagine how much fun it's going to be with a bazooka tank. And I mean, to be fair, what the fuck is going to be left to shoot at you after you shoot the first 6 gigantic bazookas that general direction? And even if somebody was still alive and they did have big enough balls to pop their head up to try to shoot at you while you're reloading, you still get to shoot at them with your spotting 50 caliber fucking rifles and the 1930 caliber machine gun on it. Dude. Like, it's a win-win.
Yeah, that is overwhelming firepower. Overwhelming firepower. Like, that's the equivalent of a tank shotgun. Just point, click, and whatever was an issue over here, right, as Bill Burr put it, isn't an issue anymore. Dude, I love that. You can still shoot at it. You still have 6 50 caliber machine guns and the 30 fucking millimeter cannon on top. Like, what? You're destroying anything you're watching through those sights. Anyone that would just be like, what is that? Oh, they're reloading. Granted, your whole world around you is basically in flames if they've shot 8 rounds out of their bazookas. The whole shit's effed up. So, and then you still have 50 cal? Like, come on, dude.
And I know what you're all thinking, but how did it perform in real life and not just on the chalkboard? Thank you so much for asking. It was first deployed in 1964 to the Dominican Republic during Operation Powerback, where it promptly destroyed both the tanks that they ran across, that being the AMX-13 and an L-60. And then after that issue was resolved, all 300 of them were promptly sent to Vietnam. Okay, here's the kicker with that. There was no established battle doctrine for this weapon. There's no rules, there's no standard operating procedures, and there was no Marine Corps MOS that was designated as being responsible for this weapon, meaning there's no one guy that's like the expert. They literally took 300 of these fucking monstrosities, gave them to the Marine Corps, and said, here's your bazooka chariot, kids, have fun. Shit got out of hand.
The bazooka chariot. Oh, God. That's terrifying. You can rain that much hell down, and then you're just giving the keys to the Marines. Hey, go do Marine stuff. Like, how do we do it? I don't know. Just go for it. Go for it. Your imagination. Use your imagination.
You're so dumb. If you knew anything, you'd know that during the Vietnam War, the Viet Cong had virtually no tanks, meaning that a tank destroyer like this would be virtually useless. Yeah, not quite. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the beehive round, aka the flechette round. Each one of these had 10,000 hardened steel darts inside of them, and when fired, they...
Wait, what? Wow. Okay. I'm taking it back a little bit, guys.
Quite. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the beehive round, aka the flechette round. Each one of these had 10,000 hardened steel darts inside of them, and when fired, they went fucking everywhere. And this weapons platform can fire 6 of them at a time, meaning that this thing can turn and proceed to shoot 60,000 fucking nails in your general direction.
Dude.
Okay? When the trees started talking, they weren't talking for very long. The Ontos was so dominant on the battlefield that the...
Imagine a fucking nail cannon. That has to be against something, right? Did we clear this with Geneva?
shoot 60,000 fucking nails in your general direction. Okay, when the trees started talking, they weren't talking for very long. The Ontos was so dominant on the battlefield that the enemy began actively avoiding it, meaning that the Marine Corps loved it because when this thing was anywhere near them, they were very seldom, if ever, ambushed. And not only was the Ontos effective in jungle warfare, but urban warfare as well. During the Tet Offensive at the Battle of Hue, which is one of the only examples of heavy urban combat to happen during the Vietnam War, the Ontos would prove absolutely dominant. Not only was it highly effective against fortified enemy positions, but it was extremely effective at convincing enemies to evacuate buildings. You see, at this point in time, the enemy was already intimately acquainted with the Ontos and knew how it operated, so all the Marines had to do to get an entire building to clear out was shoot the 50 caliber spotting rifle through the window a couple times, and all of the enemies would, and I quote, scurry out of the building like rats when you turn the lights on, because they knew what was going to come next after that 50 caliber round. Unfortunately, the original 300 M50 Ontoses would be the only ones ever created, and after the Vietnam War, the remaining ones would all be turned over to the US Army, where they would be decommissioned, stripped down, and sold off to construction companies as tracked vehicles. Luckily, however, some of them did make their way into museums where their legacy is still preserved today. In conclusion, in the 1950s, a bunch of farmers in the United States Marine Corps came together to work on a grunts and crafts project, and what they created was so childish, so ridiculous, and so devastatingly effective that it could only be characterized as the thing. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out. I wonder if I can fit a bazooka tank in here.
100%, bro. 100%. Hell yeah. Is there anything afterwards? Man, that's nuts. What did we just check out? The XM, what was it, 29? And he labeled that the Bologna Mistmaker 5000. Well, this is the Swiss Cheesemaker 5000, especially with those beehive rounds. I didn't know we had anything like that. That's crazy. It's just a shotgun. It's just, that's nuts. It's, what am I trying to say? I think farmers just get the job done. Talk about figuring stuff out on the fly and making it effective. Farmers and grunts, man, devastatingly effective. 100%. I didn't know it could shoot that kind of fucking thing. That's absolutely crazy. A beehive round? Dude, could you imagine just being in the jungle, shooting at like Marines, and all of a sudden your whole force gets filled with nails? That's psychological on a whole nother level. Dude, anyway, guys, this was crazy. I really don't know too much about the Vietnam War either. You guys are legends. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much for rocking with my channel. Make sure you go support the original content creator. Make sure you go support Nick. He does such a great job delivering these stories and telling these stories in a way where it's just so enthralling and it grabs you. He is possibly, in my eyes, one of the best content creators on YouTube. So anyway, I'm a massive fan. I've already subscribed to the Fat Files, Fat Electrician, and the Unsubscribed podcast. Anyway, guys, much love. Make sure you unplug, do something legendary, and I will see you all in the next video. Later, guys.